This is one video that's expected to deal with over 75% of your business worries and increase your income. That's what we want to achieve by doing this video today. If you have been in business for some time, you will be surprised and you'll find the heading of this video a bit absurd. You'll begin to wonder why somebody will be telling you something like this, especially when you've been in this kind of a business for a very long time. You'll be wondering why anybody should be telling you stories like this, in spite of the fact that you have been in business for as long as necessary. You may just think it is something that is not relevant. Well, I may not be in a position to really tell you whether this video is going to be relevant to your business or not. But the fact is, I would like you to listen to this video if you're in business and see how you can take one or two things from the video that will improve your business. I cannot do this. I mean, you can take a horse to the stream, but you cannot force that horse to drink the waters of the stream. I can tell you this. It is my responsibility, or I think it is my responsibility to tell you the stories. But again, it is your own responsibility to either accept what I'm telling you or not. What I'm going to do here is to tell you how some people or some successful people have used this procedure to make their business better, to run their business better and make, a good amount of income from their business. It is now your responsibility, having listened to the video, to see how you can use what I'm going to tell you now, to better your business. We are going to start this video by seeing how some well-known business executives back in the day have used the procedure, enumerated here on this video to better their own business. By the time you listen to it properly, you will now be in a better position to eliminate most of the worries that are associated with you running your business. This story is not an abstract one. It's not something that we just made up or something that I just made up. These are stories of real people who, had made success out of their businesses in the years past. This particular video is based on the experience of a man called Leon Shimkin. Leon was a partner to that famous American publishing company. The company's name was Simon & Schuster. Leon was a partner to this organization back then. So we are going to draw most of our experiences, or most of what we are going to tell you, from the experience of this man. That is why I told you that it's not something abstract. It is something that, a real person has experienced and is now telling us. So let's hear how Leon put it. He said that for over 15 years, he has been going through business problems. In other words, over the past 15 years, he has been holding, on a daily basis, he's been holding conferences, troubleshooting conferences about the organization. And the conferences are mainly to solve problems. He told us that in every of such conference, which are mainly troubleshooting, people will bring, his colleagues from other departments will bring their problems. So they will sit down argue over it, talk about it, discuss it, fight over it, exhaust themselves. At the end of the day, they would, they will get tired and may not have achieved much in spite of all the arguments, all the time spent, and what have you. They may not have achieved as much as they expected they would have achieved. So he has been doing this thing over the past 15 years, and it was becoming, he was getting tired of the whole thing. Like he said, he was therefore very, very happy when he got something that looks like a solution to this whole problem. And that is what we want to explain to you right now. And here we go. It's a kind of process, It's a problem-solving process, which goes as follows. 1. Instead of just, submitting problems, because ordinarily people come from various departments, submit their problems, and expect that we'll sit down, brainstorm on it and come out with a solution. But instead of doing that, instead of just submitting problems and expecting everybody to sit down and brainstorm over it for the whole day, we decided that, look, if you are submitting a problem, you have to come with, certain, processes. What am I trying to say? It became mandatory that anytime you are an individual is submitting a problem, he has to tell us certain things. Number 1, he has to tell us what the problem really is. What is the problem you are bringing to us? Because ordinarily, they just dump the problem on our feet and expect that we just start solving it. So now we expect that you just have to tell us what really is the problem. And having told us what the problem is, you now go further to tell us what are the causes, what is the cause, or what are the causes of this problem. It's not just bringing us problems. You have to tell us what are the causes of this problem, because you are the one there. You are the one at the field. You are the one that is bringing us the problem. You are the one in charge. So you should be able to tell us what the causes of this problem. You should have done your homework. You have to tell us what are the causes of this problem. For instance, if, a particular department is not meeting targets, you know what is responsible for it. You should be able to give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons why that department is not meeting target. Because we are not there physically, even though we are at head office or somewhere around head office. But you coming from the branch where this problem is, you should be able to give us a breakdown of what you think the problems are. Apart from telling us what the problems are, you have to tell us what are the causes of these problems. Okay, a guy is not meeting target. Why is he not meeting target? Is it because he doesn't have enough staff, or so you think? Or is he not having enough, materials to work with? And, these are 2 points. You can have your own points as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 points. You bring them to us and let us work with those points you are bringing. Then you have to bring us what are the possible solutions to these problems. At least you have, brought us, you have told us, you have given us what the problem is. You told us what you think is responsible for these problems. Now you are going to tell us, what do you think? What solutions do you have in mind? Like I said, you are the guy there. A guy is not meeting, one of your department is not meeting targets. Yes, you've told us that one of your department is not meeting target, and you've known the reason why they are not. You've given us a number of reasons why they are not doing that. So what are the solutions you are bringing to the table? It's not just telling us, but you just have to tell us what solutions are you bringing to the table. Yes, if you tell us the solutions you are bringing, you should be able to tell us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 solutions which you have to solve that problem. And having told us all the solutions you are bringing to the table, let us know which amongst these 5 solutions are you, taking as what you want to recommend to us. Yes, like I told you, here is a department that is not meeting target. You've told us why they are not meeting target. You've told us the possible reasons why they are not meeting target. Then out of these reasons you are telling us, what solutions do you have in mind? You just should be in a position to tell us what solution you have in mind. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be more than, it could be a number of solutions. So by the time you bring this, we'll now sit down and discuss with you and see the best, solution to take. That is better, much more better than a situation where you just dump it on us and we start rigmaroling and we spend hours, going through your problems. So as a result of, these procedures which I've decided to adopt, I discovered that the problems coming to us are no longer, many. People are no longer bringing us, colleagues are no longer bringing us too many problems to solve. So we spend less time solving problems. Because, before you bring us a problem, you would even have seen the solution. And if you have the solution, why bring the problem in the first instance? Because if you have to follow this procedure, if you have followed this procedure, normally you would have been able to, get out what the problems are. You would have been able to see what the problems are, and it's no point bringing it to us. And even where you bring it at all, which is very, very minimal, it's very easy for us to sit down and, deal with. So instead of spending the whole day going up and down trying to solve a problem, we spend just a few hours dealing with it, and that's it. So instead of the time we would have used to solve, the time we have used to sit down and discuss endlessly and fight ourselves, argue with ourselves, disagree with ourselves, at the end of the day, maybe we'll come out with a solution or not. We'll use that time to do something much more valuable that will bring us more income. And instead of sitting down to discuss unnecessarily what is not even necessary. So when he has put this system in place, it was very, very unusual for people to bring problems to him. Dump their problems on him to come and solve. Because they would have gotten their own solution or the solution to that problem even before they come there. So if they have got the solution, why bring it to them? So he further said that he had this friend called Frank Bettger. Frank was, an insurance salesperson. He became very, very successful when he adopted something along this line. But before then, Frank was having the same problem. He would prospect for people for business. He would prospect for businesses. At the end of the day, he would spend so much time prospecting for that business, only to discover that the income that was coming to him was not as much as what he was, was not as much as, the efforts he puts into getting that business. So he was very, very bitter. He was depressed and was looking for what he can do to take care of the problem he was having. He wanted something that would enable him increase the level of his income because of the kind of effort he's putting into that business. So as a result of which he came out with this, something similar to this procedure which I've just explained to you. Now let's look at his own. So he sat down and asked himself some very hard questions. Number one, what is really my problem? He began. What is my problem really? And he gave himself a number of answers, one of which was that, one, he was not making as much income as he expected, because the kind of effort he was putting in was not earning him the kind of income he expected. So he asked himself another question. What are the causes of these problems? To answer that question, he went back into his records. He discovered that he was really making a good number of calls that will generate him quite a lot of income. But the problem was that about 25% of these calls which he was making were generating him all this income that he's talking about, while about 75% of the work he was doing, or 75% of the calls he was making, was not earning him as much as he expected. He looked at it again. So what does he do? What is he going to do to take care of this situation? What he did was eliminate this 75% of the workload that was not earning him much. Eliminate them, and then use the time he was spending on those ones that were not earning him much to prospect for new customers. Prospect for new customers and make additional income. That was what he did. When he did that, it was more than perfect. At the end of the day, he discovered that his income grew substantially. Eventually, he became one of the most successful salesperson in the whole of the United States of America back then, just because he adopted a system that enabled him to increase his income and reduce the time he spent doing nothing. The time you spend doing virtually nothing, because that's the way I want to put it. If you are spending so much time, 75% of your time doing something that is not earning you as much income as 25%, why don't you, do away with them and, concentrate on the 25% that is bringing you something? Why you use that time that you use in pursuing 75% that is bringing you nothing to pursue fresh clients? That was what he did, and his business eventually blew up. So it may just be helpful to you if you try this procedure. Try it and see how it helps your business. It may just be the El Dorado you are looking for. It may just be a way of, boosting your business, boosting your income. When you eliminate so much time which you spend in worrying over things that do not exist, and use that time to do something that will boost your income. That is what we are trying to make you adopt, So we hope that if you are able to, I hope that you are able to listen to this video and put this procedure into play and see how it will boost your income. Thank you very much for listening.